want to thank our coaching staff, in particular our coach Sasd, who's been doing it for 4 years and worked tirelessly to provide an experience for our student athletes. And when I think of Akota, I think of someone that is relentlessly pursuing excellence and forcing or inspiring and challenging our student athletes to do the same. Akota recently stepped down to spend more time with his family, as he spent way too much time with this family, but we're very indebted for that time that he spent with them. I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate our student athletes. You guys, amazing year. There was a clear identity on offense and defense, and it was a pleasure to watch as a basketball enthusiast. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys very much. You guys laid the groundwork for the underclassmen that are here, and thankfully we have Chance Salone and we have Nate Rasike, the 2 best players in the league, coming back next year, so we should be here next year, I would imagine. But thank you to the coaches, thank you to the parents, student athletes, congratulations, and thank you to the board for the time here this evening. I'm going to bring up Akota Sasd to say a few words and introduce our student athletes.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis, for all that you do, the kind words, and the nice setup. First, on behalf of the boys basketball team, we would like to thank our administration headed by Dr. Abrana and Dennis Stanton. We'd like to thank the school board, the booster club, the parents, the coaching staff, and the community for their support in making this season possible. The mantra for this year was unity over self. This team was great because we respected each other and we had love for one another. We're all a part of something bigger than ourselves, and we're better for it. Nobody has ever accomplished anything great alone. We understood that, and we embraced the we before me attitude. We all sacrificed a lot as we prepared during the off season in the spring, summer, and fall at 6 a.m. on the weekends after practice. We worked tirelessly. We worked extremely hard in order to pursue something that was uncertain. We stayed united and resilient when times were tough. When we lost 3 in a row, we could have blamed each other and imploded, but we communicated in a mature and productive way, and we're stronger for it. We became closer as a team, and we won our next 8 games in a row to end the regular season with the Suburban Colonial Championship, the first in 12 years. On any given night, we didn't know if we would win or lose, but we did know that our team was made of great teammates. We had teammates who would give everything they had and would stick together no matter what, and who would fight until the very end. I hope that you carry these lessons learned this season with you as you grow as family members, students, and community members. I also hope that the friendships made during your time here carry on for a long time. Remember that nobody does anything great alone, and when you fall, your teammates will help you up. Lastly, I would like to thank the 11 young men on this team who made this the most enjoyable basketball season of my life. This is a truly special team. Because of your commitment, hard work, and selflessness, this special team is also a championship team. I'm also proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys and the young men that you're becoming. I'm excited for what the future has in store for each of you. Stay humble and hungry and keep growing. Thank you. I'd like to call up the young men on this team to give them the certificate for their Suburban North Colonial Championship, starting with Chance Salone. Come on. Nolan Watkins. Nate Rasike. I'd like to show some love and get a round of applause for Trey Boyd, even though he's not here. batch had work tonight. A round of applause, please, for Thaddeus Harder. Someone in attendance tonight, Chris Lewis. Will Lockwood. Dylan Quinn. Evan O'Raden. And lastly, the only freshman on the team, I'm excited about him in his future in this program, Levi X.
Well, number one, congratulations. It has been one of the greatest things that I've ever done to be on a team. And to know that your teammates are there for you. What I'd like to do right now, with every single one of the student athletes, there has to be a great support staff, support team behind them. So if all the parents and guardians and relatives that are here today, can you stand up so we can applaud you too? So the uncomfortable time, does someone want to share one of the greatest moments that you had this season?
I'm here with CK. This was actually my first year here playing with the team. And, I feel like basketball, this is probably my best basketball season I probably ever had in my whole lifetime. It's one, just being on the team, but creating a family with the team. It's just great, especially with the family I got behind me. They've been there since forever with me. I know them all for a while, and just playing the season with them, winning the games with them, especially at CD South. I think that was my favorite moment because we won the league there, and just everyone being happy, we all celebrating together. But we know we put in hard work and effort, and just being with my team and the coaches as well. It's nothing more I could ask for.
Just listening to, what you talked about, what the team meant to you. Just appreciate everything that you've done, and I believe we all know the sacrifices that you've made. So thank you for everything you've done. So
Well, congratulations, gentlemen. You certainly deserve this and more. And I want to thank Coach. You rebuilt the program. You should be honored that you did that.
At this time, I would like to make a motion to recognize the basketball team for the conference.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Okay, we are going to cue up the spotlight for this month, the Night of Science.
This is an event that was started a couple years ago by Mrs. Thomas. It's a night of science at Indian Valley Middle School. And younger children are invited to participate in this night. It's really turned out to be a great event. So, Mr. Franz, I believe you have a video to highlight this.
3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Suzanne Thomas, and I'm in charge of the Sasd Club here in Indian Valley. We are an environmental club. I'm very fortunate to have 85 wonderful young middle schoolers that are very involved in our club. And one of the activities we do is an all-school science night. We have 75 Indian Valley students that are teaching different science activities. We have 8 activities for pre-K and kindergarten, 8 activities for first and second grade students. They're all hands-on activities, and they are all taught a little bit about the science behind the activity by our Indian Valley amazing middle school students. Some of the activities we do with the little ones are we have a big dinosaur dig they can look for bones for. We talk about insects and adaptations, and they play a fun game where they have to hide beetles and camouflage them. For the older kids, we do slime and elephant toothpaste. But it's great to have this many kids involved, loving science, sharing their love of science with little ones. Like I said, we had pre-K, kindergarten, first and second. We had 258 little ones from all over the community. And it was wonderful to have so many teachers from our elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools come and support us today.
So my name is Sloan. I'm Amelia. And we are doing a Maths and Moss experiment that involves playing a game to showcase what echolocation is like. We are having one kid with a blindfold on, and then all the other kids have eggs with paper clips in them, and it's simulates how the moth will give the shape back to the bag, and he will go after all of the moths.
My group is Dino Dig. We're digging for dinosaur bones. We're using spoons and brushes. We're using sand and dinosaur bones. And they're making sure that they be real careful to not break the bones.
My favorite part of science was making this bunny. My favorite part of science night is the slime.
Thank you. So, next survey you all want to go to that, right? Okay, next, Nadia, you're here to do the student report.
Hi, my name is Nadia Cho. I'm a junior at the Southern Area High School, and I will be going over what has happened, sports, and then what's coming up. So on February 27th, Miss Karen Clark organized a very successful blood drive. Over 68 donors donated their blood, so many lives will be saved. Also on that day, Miss Allison Todd and the Cornhole Club organized the staff versus student cornhole tournament, raising funds for the beanbag program. On Saturday, March 22nd, there was a memorial event for the Safe House at West Broad Elementary. Safe stands for Students Against Violating the Earth. It was very important to honor the tremendous amount of work and time that was dedicated by the SAVE organization over the years. On Saturday, March 15th, SAHS hosted the Art and Soul Festival. With the support of many student leaders, Ms. Lauren Bauer and Mr. Sean Redmond organized a great event that more than 500 people attended. Stoughton's academic decathlon team has won the 2025 PA Academic Decathlon State Championship, scoring 43,820 points and beating second place Seneca Valley by 394 points. Souderton will represent the state of Pennsylvania at the USAD National Finals in Des Moines, Iowa in late April. This is Souderton's 4th state championship of the last year. The high school will celebrate this accomplishment with a parade through our concourse. Under the leadership of Dr. Arano, the Arrowhead has won the 2025 Pennsylvania School Press Association's All-State Award. It is the state championship for the Pennsylvania Scholastic newspaper. It is the highest award given to what is deemed the best scholastic newspaper in the state. We'll be heading to Penn State next Monday to receive this award on the main campus. As for sports, Saturday girls football is sitting at 1-2 at the end of the non-conference play. The offense has been led by multiple players. Sophomore QB Liz Ward has thrown for 250 yards and 4 TDs. Sophomore Avery Dunning is the team's leading rusher with 6 carries for the 64 yards, while the junior combo of Elena Picard, 8 catches, 53 yards, and 3 TDs, and Mahi Patel, 7 catches, 120 yards, and 1 TD, lead the team in receiving. Defensively, first-year junior Jackie Lee has been a tackling machine who leads a physical defense with 18 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 pass breakups. Conference plays open on April 8th at home against CB South. The boys tennis team is currently 2-2. The team takes on CB West next Monday. The boys volleyball team is 3-0. The Indians host undefeated North Penn in their next contest tonight. The boys outdoor track and field team is in the infancy of its season with 1 scrimmage and 1 official dual meet in the books. Junior Felix Silverez currently has the fastest time for the 100 in Pennsylvania. Girls track is fresh off a historic winter season. The team is primed for their biggest and best season in school history. The current roster is at an all-time high of 87 athletes. The varsity basketball team only played 1 non-league game so far, which we lost 3-2. We had a very successful play day in Aberdeen, Maryland, and we went 2-1-1. We are very excited to start the league play on Monday versus Penn Ridge. The girls lacrosse team is going to conference play 5-0. The Indians take on Council Rock Staff next. The softball team is 1-0 in the conference play and 2-1 overall. The boys lacrosse team is 4-1 overall and 1-0 in conference play. Our next game is home against Council Rock North on Friday. And as for what's coming up, Stusical, our school's musicals this weekend. There's 1 show on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. There was a well-received student preview today. I can agree to this. I was there today, and it was absolutely magical. I implore a lot of people, at least everyone here, to attend. The Young Women Rising event will be held on Wednesday, April 2nd. This event provides an opportunity for young women to hear from professional women from a variety of organizations and industries discussing their journey and experiences. Over 13 speakers will be present that day. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was, I think, the most comprehensive report. I have to ask you, do you plan to study broadcast journalism?
Maybe.
Yeah. Thank you for that report. Very good.
Yes, and just to hear everything that's going on, we all should be proud of this district and of the students and everybody who's involved. I started listing some of the things down here, and I'm getting tired of writing. It's just amazing, not only through the sports, but through the arts and academics. It's just amazing what's going on. So thank you for being part of the community that you are. So thank you. All right, Mr. Taylor, we are ready for public comments.
All right, we have Corinne Mestizo on topic of plans.
Corinne Mestizo, Upper Salford. I'm grateful that I was invited to participate as a parent representative on the Comprehensive Planning Committee this past fall. Like others, I was an addition to the already established committee. I had the opportunity to speak with other parents, as well as small business owners, board members, teachers, and members of the administration. After 2 large committee meetings, all members were asked to sign up for individual working groups based on the priorities which were identified: cultivating belonging, strengthening mental health supports and services, and prioritizing academic growth and achievement. I signed up for the Cultivating Belonging and Mental Health Supports working groups. The working groups had the task of ensuring that the concerns and ideas of the larger committee were represented within the comprehensive plan. When it came time for those meetings, I was surprised to find only 1 or 2 other parents, in addition to teachers and administrators present. After the working groups, the larger group was brought back together to review the work that had been done. At this next meeting, we were assigned to tables to work in and review the efforts of the working groups. I was at a table with a couple of parents, teachers, administrators, and 1 board member. As a group, though, we struggled to complete the assigned task because few members of our group had participated in the working groups. During the mental health discussion, I was especially concerned by a question from the board member about the necessity of mental health support in schools because they are available outside of the school. The other parent and I shared why this is important for the whole child since we bring our mental health with us everywhere we go, while also explaining what the multi-tiered system of support, or MTSS, which was implemented 2 or 3 years ago in our district, was. For us parents, one level of support that could be implemented for our children might be a lunch bunch, but all children are receiving the base level of support through reviews by counselors at the schools and teachers on a constant basis. I was grateful to be included in this planning committee because I wanted to ensure that the whole child of every child was considered in the process. It seems that we may need to go back to basics so that all board members are reminded that the whole child includes their mental health too. Because if a child is struggling with their mental health and does not have the proper supports in place, they may also struggle academically. Souderton deserves better.
Who's the board member?
Alexander Lisser, on the topics of agenda items 8.26 and 8.27.
Alex Wisser, Upper Southford Township. Tonight, the board has not included attachments on the agenda for 8.26, which is to approve asbestos abatement bid, and 8.27 to approve the security camera bid. While some information was given in the description box on the agenda, there is no reason why attachments cannot be included. For 8.27, there was no discussion of security cameras at the March 19th Operations Committee meeting. Where are the cameras being placed and why was it not being discussed at the committee level? The board should be providing these details to the residents and taxpayers of the district. Souderton deserves better. Thank you.
Rosemary Petercoffer, Elstown.
So for the cameras, I just want to let you know, it's not put out there because of security. Okay, so if you do want to come in and talk about it, we can. Okay.
Why not? But it wasn't even discussed that there were going to be security cameras. I don't want to know where they are. Just that they were going to be bid and put out.
Understood. If you want to come in and discuss it, we can discuss it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rosemary Petercoffer, on the topic of disposal of obsolete items.
Rosemary Petercoffer, I live in Souderton Borough. Yeah, I had a comment about 8.24, the disposal of excess obsolete non-repairable equipment. On the agenda on the website, if you go into the detailed agenda, you can find more information. So the paper that lists what you are voting to dispose of tonight, I'm just curious, I'd like to know how you dispose of these items, where they go, because it seemed at least some of them could be used somewhere. So as an example, there are 288 fourth grade social studies books. I know you bought the new Pennsylvania history, I think that was fourth grade. So these books, I wondered what happened to them, but the number that really jumped out to me was 713 books that were being removed from the Salford Hills Library. And I know that weeding is a normal process, but that's an awful lot of books. And I would like to know, do you have a list of those books? Are they able to be used somewhere else? Just like to know if we could find another purpose or place for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. This process allows us, not the books, but allows other equipment to be put on auction to sell. And the books, South Hills Library hasn't been weeded in a while, I don't think, and we're moving the library. So the library did go through and look at what books are frequent flyers to check out, what ones are in really not the greatest shape. And if they're donatable, we donate them. And if sometimes kids take them home, or they're given out at book class, if they're good. Yeah.
And there's no comments we have for the agenda.
Okay. Report of the President. An executive session was held prior to tonight's meeting to discuss legal matters and personnel matters including staff appointments, retirements, and resignations. The session lasted about 45 minutes. Superintendent.
Tonight I have a report. First, I'm going to start with an update on the Federal Department of Education and federal funding that is being talked about out there in the media. We receive about $2 million in federal funding that includes about $1.1 million in IDA and the remaining is in our title programs, Title I, II, III, and IV. We are told, I was at a conference last week for my association, Pennsylvania Association of School Administrators, and our national lobbyist came up from Washington to meet with the superintendents across the Commonwealth. And she told us not to make any impulsive decisions right now, and that we have to wait to see. But next year's funding is in place. We're not sure about the following fiscal years, but from what I'm understanding, the money, if it truly will be dissolved, pardon, the money will be channeled through the Health and Human Services Department. So we have to play this by ear. I'm not jumping up the ladder on this right now. We will have our funding in place for our Title I programs, our Title II staff development, our Title III that supports our English learners program, and all of our $1.1 million for IDEA, which primarily pays for the IU services that we use, that Montgomery County use. So that's an update on that. That's where I was last week when I wasn't at committee. I was learning, but I kept up on what was happening here. Some other stuff. I did go to the preview of Susical this afternoon. I'm most impressed, obviously, with the talent of our students. But this show in particular, the costumes are out of this world, and the set is really out of this world. So I know parents and volunteers often help up with that, but I couldn't get over the costumes, and of course our students performing, and they were having a great time, and the auditorium was filled, which speaks volumes to how our students support each other. This coming next Friday is the Harlem Wizards event for the Indian Valley Education Foundation. There are still tickets available. It's actually a fun event to attend, even for an adult. Actually, sometimes the adults understand the comedy behind it more than anybody else. So if you haven't been to one, or you want to go, you can get tickets off of the foundation's website, ivef.com. I will be there. I am assigned to customer service. And that's a big fundraiser for the foundation. The goal there is $30,000. I also am a personal sponsor of the event. So when you see my name on the t-shirt, that is a personal donation and sponsorship I gave to it. Spring concert will be starting up. I've gotten to hear some of the rehearsals, obviously, and the quality of our music programs is second to none. Indian Crest musical SpongeBob will be on April 11th. I know one of our staff members here has taken her 5-year-old little boy to that, and he's all excited. Field trip season began. Well, it never ends, but it's really big time field trip right now. Exciting field trip forms almost every day. So our students have amazing opportunities, and a lot of that is funded by the Education Foundation. So that's my update, Mr. Nelson.
Would you like to roll into
consent action agenda? At this time, I would like to recommend to the board that they approve the consent action items 8.2 to 8.27 as presented. Board members are invited to remove an item from the consent action agenda if further discussion is needed. Items on the consent action agenda that are to be considered motions for approval are board meeting minutes, financial statements and checklistings, ratified request to attend conference, approved request to attend conference or workshops, approved request for out-of-state overnight field trips, approved second reading of policy 202, eligibility of non-resident students, approved second reading of policy 805.2, school security personnel, approved second reading of policy 807, opening exercises, flag displays, use of flag code, approved third reading and final adoption of policy 254, education opportunities for military children, approved third reading and final adoption of policy 610, purchases subject to bid, approved third reading and final adoption of policy 6.626.1, travel reimbursement, federal programs. First reading of policy 105.1, curriculum review by parents and students. First reading of policy 105.2, exemption from instruction. First reading of policy 218, student discipline. First reading of policy 218.1, weapons. Approved personnel items. Approved nomination of district representative to the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors, which will be Mrs. Fussing, who serves as the president of the NCIU currently. Approved curriculum revisions to high school math courses. Approved comprehensive plan for the years 2025 and 2028. Approve the disposal of excess obsolete and non-repairable equipment. Approve cooperative purchasing agreements for Indian Crest and South Hills renovations. Approve asbestos abatement bid. Approve security camera bid.
Thank you, Dr. Gallagher. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as spoken?
Move.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Future meetings. Wednesday, April 9th, we have our board committee meeting in here at 6:30. Monday, North Monco Technical Center, 7 o'clock. On Wednesday, April 23rd, TCIU, 6:45, and back in here on April 24th for the board action meeting at 7 o'clock. Report of the solicitor.
I have no report.
Unfinished business.
Yes, I would like to give an update on what our legislators are doing in the NCIU legislative report. There's Senate Bill 315 amends the public school code in career and technical education, providing for career and technical education equipment grants. So what they PDE is determining that they shall fix the grant amount as of the first day of June preceding the year in which the allocation occurs. It stipulates that if after that data on the first day is found to be incorrect, they will correct it. Senate Bill 27 amends the public school code in charter schools, providing for cyber charter school moratorium. It prohibits the department from reviewing or acting on any application for the establishment of a new cyber charter school, regardless of the date on which the application was or is received by the department. And that's beginning July 1st of this year. So there is a moratorium. There will be no further approval until they add further. On Senate Bill 394, it provides an expiration of authority for school districts to levy and collect property taxes, as we have done for decades, on homesteads and farmsteads. It provides the extension until June 30th, 2030, so we will continue to act as we have done in the past. And then one more is Senate Bill 354. It amends the public school code to provide for further funding of charter schools. It requires the charter school to document the cost of providing an education to the students and provides the documentation to PDE. It prohibits the payments that exceed the maximum amount within that category's dollar range. So that's something that we've been asking for and that they're looking at now.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Taylor. Public comments. We have Paul DeChizo on district signage.
Paul DeChizo for Southern. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. So, I think this is real small. These signs have gone up at the school, all the schools in the district, and it talks about safety and regulations and things like that, which is important. My son's learning to drive, so he drives to school every day, and we switch like a lot of parents do. And I'm leaving school, and I noticed that some of the contractors that are working on the multi-purpose fields are smoking right there where people are passing by. So I'm hoping that these rules apply to contractors and people who are on staff or students. So.
Thank you for letting us.
I don't know if Mr. Ball or Mr. Taylor, whoever the representative is that works with these construction companies, can just remind them that these rules apply to them.
Officer Deal and Officer Wright will do that tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Further detail on meeting considerations?
Corinne DeJaso, Upper Southford. I continue asking for the following considerations regarding the broadcasting board meetings policy. One, while it would be difficult to vet community members for public comment during live stream meetings, community members could submit their comments ahead of time, allowing sufficient time to ensure their district residents. Excuse me, could you stop my time? Can you please stop recording me because I don't give you permission to do that. Surrounding districts approach live streaming this way, and it allows for more participation from the community who cannot physically get to a meeting. It promotes belonging and accessibility. Two, please consider definite archival of the meeting recordings. While these are not considered the official record of the meeting, it's more beneficial to review the recording than read the minutes. I can personally keep storing meetings every month, but it seems that this really should be the responsibility of the district. It's counterproductive to me that you're not making these additional considerations now, when we know how delayed our policy reviews have been in the district. Souderton deserves better.
Your comments? Alexander Lisser on the topic of policy committee.
Alex Wisser, Upper Southford Township. Tonight's agenda included 4 policies that completely bypassed the policy committee and are now set to go through first, second, and third readings solely on the consent agenda between now and May. While any board member can request to pull an item from the consent agenda for discussion, that rarely happens. As I've mentioned in previous public comments, this board has neglected updating its policies for more than 7 years. Now that the board is finally revising these outdated guidance documents, it's disappointing to see the process handled this way. Skipping the policy committee undermines transparency and makes it harder for residents to engage. People deserve the chance to review the policies ahead of time and ask questions. Each board meeting begins with a reading of the district's mission statement. It includes the phrase, working in partnership with family and community. But when the board avoids holding regular policy committee meetings and limits opportunities for meaningful public input, it's hard to see how these actions reflect that mission. Souderton deserves better. Thank you.
Mrs. Wizard,
Yes.
I just want to address your comment.
Yes.
The policies that were not discussed at policy committee are very minimal changes, and they were already reviewed by PSBA Legal, which is our Pennsylvania School Boards Association. They're very basic changes that are really based on the school code changes. And I think as an attorney, you would understand you have to follow the school code.
Right.
So there's not much to discuss with the word change.
But my argument back to you then would be, why didn't those numbers even show up at the policy
I
committee?
believe it was mentioned in the policy committee that some policies will go right to first.
Yes, it was,
Okay.
but those numbers weren't given at that policy committee meeting.
Okay, thank you for your feedback.
Yeah.
John Waldenberger, here's the topic of Formica and DOE.
So, yeah, at the committee meeting last week, I did express concerns about possibility of issues with the Department of Education, and sure enough, the next day, here comes the executive order to abolish. Of course, Congress needs to act, and we're waiting on that. And Dr. Gallagher, you covered concerns regarding funding. That's great. But I want to know what the heck all you're going to do. What will you do besides the basic bare minimum to ensure that IDEA, that all special education needs are met, that all needs of all students are met above and beyond the bare minimum of what the PSBA and lack of federal oversight now gives, and in the limbo until the state grows a pair and actually takes some action. That said, just to remind everyone about this lovely little tweet from Mr. Formica. You want to zoom in? This is the one where he says that he wishes we could still hang people. With a lot of the rhetoric going through lately with our federal elected officials, I'd like to know why we still have a guy that thinks it's okay to hang people and promoting this double standard. Meanwhile, people are getting arrested just for saying that they don't like what another country's doing. We deserve better, do better. I gave you guys the resolution. I can send it again. Censure him. Take some action. Show us that you actually care in this time when a lot of people are suffering now because of your actions. Do better.
Mr. Waldenberger, I would like to address your first comments. I don't know if you know this about me, but I started out as a special education teacher.
Yes.
My passion for special education. I have a cousin very close to me. She's 47 years old and she has Down syndrome. She was my reason for getting into this profession. I am taking offense to your comments. We go above and beyond every day for all children. And our special education programs are second to none. And they will continue to be, and that is our priority.
I want to make sure that it stays that way. I appreciate everything you're doing, Dr. Gallagher, but please mind, my comments are mostly directed at the elected members
The
of the board.
elected officials up here feel the same way as I do.
Well, like
Can I say,
I want to
Dr.
see.
Gallagher, too? I'd like to say, I'm a former school teacher, so I taught 7th grade English.
Mhm.
I think the teachers are the back cornerstone of our school, and we would never let anything happen to them. And if I'm correct in saying federal funding only makes up about $2 million, is that correct? Of our yearly budget, so God forbid something happens. Unfortunately, that's not our entire budget, and we would find a way to make it work.
Good.
So
And
I
again,
can assure you-
my concern isn't so much funding, it's action.
Well, our
make
board does
make sure
take
things are in
action.
place.
It might not be in front of everybody, but our board takes action.
When you do,
Okay.
please show
Assure
us.
you that.
Please show us when you
Okay.
do.
We do.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Joy. Rosemary Petercopper on social media.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak one more time tonight. Rosemary Buticon, Southington Borough. And I said social media, and I'm thinking maybe public relations would be a better title. I wanted to share with the board and the community. Last Saturday, I went to the Save House Memorial Ceremony, which was really nice. I want to say Mrs. Kim Wilson and Mr. Ian Burley, who were there, the students who spoke were excellent. It was such a nice event, and I only knew because my children are out of school. I knew about this event because one of my friends who has a child in high school mentioned it to me. They were informed. Can we let the community know about great events like this? Because I'm not a big social media person personally, but I did post on Facebook, as one does, a picture of myself at the Save House. And with the followers or friends I have, 5 or 6 people who live in the community and one who is out of state all said, I would have come. I was in Save, my kids love Save. I know we can't probably reach everyone in the community. So I don't know if the answer is Facebook, what the district does. I don't think the district has a large social media presence that I've seen. So please, let the community know because people would have definitely come. We had about 35 people there. It was a very nice ceremony. But I really think we could have more and people would have enjoyed it. So please find ways of sharing these great events and great opportunities for the public to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. It was an excellent event, and at the next board meeting, we will be showing a number of things. We're honoring the SAVE program and the 2 buildings that were there. Because my daughter's 34 right now. That's all she talks about when I kept on going to the meetings for her. But thank you.
Andrew Shushay on board workflow.
Good evening, my name is Andrew Suchet. I live in Franconia Township. The comprehensive action plan includes 15 key steps beginning in about 4 months with additional actions in August. Based on my 7 years of regular attending committee meetings and feedback from others, it seems that the committee meetings may need significant reorganization. Currently, meetings are heavily focused on construction. A more effective approach might be to have each subcommittee present monthly rather than the current sporadic and ad hoc schedule. Additionally, all meeting attachments should be thorough and comprehensive to support informed decision-making. Our school children deserve better outcomes from these meetings. After all, and I hope everyone agrees with me, an effective school board is important to transforming all our students into confident, capable, and successful adults. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Have a motion to adjourn. Favor? Thank you.